Welcome to day 282. Just a few points today about miracles and some of the cool things that we read about, little tidbits. So let's start with one of those. We start out right away in Mark 6:18. And John the Baptist, had been telling Herod, "It is against God's law for you to marry your brother's wife." So you're not supposed to do that. So I have a list of man and wife, homosexuality, other types of things that are all on one page, and I put that in the man and wife column. Though you could put it in with like the divorce stuff that's in the other column. Just to give you an idea, let me show you. It's things like that: man and wife, homosexuality, other. There's so many different types of things we could talk about men and women and sexuality. So that's just something we started long ago. But this is one of those things that you could add to that list and make sure that you have those types of things whenever it comes to talking to people about marriage. Now, let's get into the miracles here. In Matthew 14:14, just another reference here. Jesus saw the huge crowd as he stepped from the boat, and he had compassion on them and healed their sick. Now, this is in the 5,000 men group and their families. 5,000 men and their families. So put that together, there's probably at least 10,000 people there, if not more. So he takes this and he feeds the 5,000. He takes the 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish that they have. So Matthew 14, verses 15 through 21, I'm not going to read it. They had 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. So let's get that straight. And it's 5,000 men in addition to all the women and children at the end of that in verse 21. So put that together. You probably have at least 10,000 people that he fed with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And they had 12 basketfuls of leftovers, which is in itself a miracle that you had the leftovers. It's not like you stretched it and gave everybody a little crumb. You actually had 12 baskets of leftovers. So just in case there was anybody thinking, well, they just put a little pinch in everybody like what you have at church. No, they had 12 baskets full of leftovers. That's key to understand. Now, the big one, Mark 6. Go back to Mark 6. Sorry, here. Mark 6 and verses 48 through 51. Actually, I'm going to stay in Matthew. We're going to read part of Matthew's account. Remember, I said all the 4 Gospels have the same type of thing. So let's read Matthew 14, verses 25 through 25 through 30. I'm not going to read the whole thing. So Jesus came toward them walking on water. So put that on your miracles list, walking on water. And then in verse 28, 29, Peter calls out to him, if it's really you, let me walk on water to you. And Jesus Peter's kind of out of his mind, not really sure what to think. They're all scared, out of their minds, thinking it's a ghost and stuff. And Jesus said, yeah, come. And so Peter went over the side of the boat and sank immediately. No, it's not what it says. It says, and walked on the water toward Jesus. But when he saw the strong wind and waves, he was terrified and began to sink. So Peter got to walk on water for a short distance. May have been only 1 or 2 steps. May have been 10. Who knows? It doesn't say that part. Okay, now the last piece of miracles that we need to add to our list. Matthew 14, 35 through 36. When the people recognized Jesus, the news of his arrival spread quickly throughout the whole area, and soon people were bringing their sick to be healed. So there's a miracle here where the sick is healed. Okay, verse 36. They begged him to let the sick touch at least the fringe of his robe, and all, remember these are the words, every, all, never. Those words we need to pick up in the Bible. All who touched him were healed because they're touching them out of faith that they're going to be healed, and their faith is what heals them. Okay? So you have that, and I want to point out something where we talk about all these miracles and all these people that are being healed. You can't say how many people touched him and were healed. And this is just the one instance among, a whole list of miracles where there's multiple times where it says all who touched him or all who, many people were healed. And I want to get this through your head. We're getting ready to, in the next month, next few weeks, to talk about the crucifixion and dispel this myth that people didn't recognize that it was Jesus that was being beaten and brutally beaten and whipped beyond recognition. You telling me all these people didn't recognize him at the beginning? You're crazy. So I wanted to point out that all of these people, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, here in this one setting, we had 5,000 men, about 10,000 people in that one setting. He had 3 years of doing this. You're not going to convince me or any other biblical person that there were just a few thousand people. And even if there were, you telling me there wouldn't be anybody that wouldn't recognize him? Come on. So keep that, all this underlying stuff in between the lines things we need to be picking up on. And I'll try to put that out there. And it's a good thing to get that. All right. That's your day 282. I'll see you tomorrow.